Welcome to Studio 58A Live at the Jamaica Information Service, our discussion program coming to you live on Facebook. I'm your host, Vaughn Davis. Thank you to everyone joining us online, wherever you are around the world. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for your eyes. And as you watch, remember to send in your questions and your comments so we can put them to our guests. And like how we have your attention, do us a favor, no man. Share this video with a friend or two or 5,000 so we can have a very lively discussion. Now, I don't know if people know, but whole heap of opportunity there, Jamaica, you know. Just think about all the plants and other materials that we just walk past every day that can be transformed into quality products that could be sold not just locally, but internationally. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, the plants and so on are there. Yeah, we'd probably turn them in our product, but how? How are we going to do that? How are we going to take them and turn them into our product? Well, you'd be surprised to know that it's actually easier than you think. Why? Because you have an ally. That ally is the Scientific Research Council, arguably one of Jamaica's most underrated resources for the field of entrepreneurship. The level of support the SRC provides is amazing, but don't take it from me. Take it from persons who work there. And we have with us in studio today, Acting Executive Director, Dr. Charah Watson, to share some of the various support services that the SRC provides to members of the public. Welcome, Dr. Watson. And just unmute your mic for 1 second.
You muted me, but hi.
Welcome. All right, Dr. Watson, like I said, for me, SRC is criminally underrated in terms of the support and the different ways in which you work with persons who are interested in getting a foot in entrepreneurship by just creating products and you know, to get themselves out there in the production line, you know. But before we even get into all of that, just a little bit of the background and the mission and the mandate of the SRC itself, just to establish that for persons who might not necessarily be aware of what exactly you do.
All right, so thanks again for having us, and thank you for that lovely introduction as it relates to what it is that SRC can actually do to assist you.
It wasn't, I mean, the truth matters, but anyway, continue. Appreciate it.
So the vision of the SRC is really to be a center of innovation that will lead Jamaica into development status. And we do this through the activities and the programs that we implement. So our mission or our mandate really speaks to helping support the agro-industrial sector, supporting the small and medium enterprises, as well as facilitate the translation of Jamaica's natural resources into economic activities or products and services. We also have responsibility for the popularization of science to make science more understandable and relatable to everybody.
All right.
So those are major areas, yes.
No, all right, Dr. Watson. Like I said, you walk past plants, minerals, all different kind of things we encounter in our natural environment on a day-to-day basis. I walk in past a plant and I see, you know, say, my grandmother used to make a juice with that all those years ago. And you know, say it tastes good. I wonder if we could have, how we could have take it and turn it into something. Because entrepreneurship for 2021, you know, that everybody's saying. So how, and then somebody says, Van, you can go up to the SRC. When I reach up there to you, what are you going to tell me? How are you going to walk with me to help me get my thing from thought to finished product in front of me?
All right. So from the moment I hear about the SRC, it's very easy to get in touch with us. Right now, considering the situation we're in where COVID is concerned, we recommend that you email us.
Okay.
So you can email your particular request to us or inquiry. And what we'll do is first set up what we call a clarification meeting. Now, that clarification meeting is really just about 30 minutes to 1 hour consultancy session where we really discuss your idea with you and to find out whether or not it's feasible is one of the first assessment that we'll make. And really to give you that opportunity to think it out loud and give you feedback in terms of steps and approaches that you can take to realize what it is that you envision in and actualizing through development of a product. If it is that based on the discussions and the consultation that we had at that point of contact, that you decide that, yes, I want to move on. Because what we try to do is highlight that there's a lot more to entrepreneurship or creating a product than formulating and developing a product. There's a lot more things to it than that. The formulation probably is the easiest part, especially if you have an SRC working with. There's other considerations that you must consider. How available is that raw material? How are you going to market it? Where are you going to sell it? What kind of distribution channel will you have? How much you want it to sell for? Are consumers interested in that product? Is it just you and your family will like that particular drink that you're making? Those kind of feedback you'll get in that consultation session. So if you decide that you want to move forward, we then do what you call a letter of intent. And what that letter tells you is how much it will cost for the SRC to assist you in developing your unique formulation, what kind of time frame, what responsibilities you will have in the process, because we don't just take your idea and run with it. You're very much involved in that development of the product, because at the end of the day, it's your own. We can't give it to nobody else. It's your own, so you have to be in the creation of that product, so that product really feels like something that you created. So if you agree with the terms and you can afford the cost indicated, and just to point out, our cost minimal. Our cost for services typically runs between 50 to 70% of what it might cost in the open market. Yes, so we're very affordable where that is concerned. You rarely find anyone that can compete with us where price is concerned, especially for product development. The private space is far, far more expensive. And truth be told, there's not a lot of persons operating in a private space to offer these services either.
I can imagine. I don't think many people.
So even having that competitive advantage to us, we still go again.
Yeah, I was saying, I don't know of any other entity in the private space that offers all the services you do under one roof. You know what I mean? So I mean, a person can just walk in off the street with an idea, and you will take them through all the steps and equip them so that they'll be able to.
And we have several services that are.
Okay. So I want to go through some of the different services that you have. Let's just, all right, so let's just recap quickly for a moment. So you come in off the street, or well, you will sit down, or you will not really sit down in these times of COVID, but you will have a consultation, and then in that consultation, you outline the different steps. And so first of all, let's start business. Like, is this even feasible? Yes, it's a great idea. Yes, it sounds like you might enjoy it, but I mean, how many people outside of you and your friends and people who support you and will support you till the end will actually buy this and take it on as a serious product? Go through the dollars and cents and how much it will actually cost to make this a reality and so on. And, you know, I get that, because I mean, it's all well and good to have an idea, you know, but at the end of the day, it has to be practical. You have to be able to sustain it. Otherwise, it's really just, like a exercise in just giving away some money and just spending a whole heap of money to not accomplish anything at the end of the day.
And what I always tell clients when I have the opportunity to speak with them is, if it's a business that you're going into, all businesses, one of the main, apart from the fundamental problem that they're trying to solve, the second most important thing is that it would be viable in terms of turning a profit. If it's not going to turn a profit, then you're doing a charity. So you need to decide. So that is critical for persons to understand. A person sometimes come to us with some real out there ideas. And when you go down in the nitty-gritty of it, so to formulate with the kind of things that they want, the cost for that product at the end of the day, not even them would afford it for themselves. It's very important that you're mindful of why and what is it that you're doing, so that you, from the get-go, you can design and plan so that your chances of success is even greater. You were asking some of the services and activities. As mentioned, we do product development and formulation. So if you just have the idea and you have never created a product, we take you from that ideation right through to finished product. But what if you already have mixed up and you make it long for years, and you already have a formula and you don't need us to tweak or change anything? We do what you call standardization. And what standardization is, moving it from that 5-gallon bucket that you probably make that juice or that sauce in up to 100 gallons, and ensure that the quality and consistency is always there, and also to ensure that is safe for mass consumption. Because once you start making products in large bulk and offering it for sale to the general public, the issue of public safety becomes a major concern, because it's different if you're in your household and 5 of you consume something and 5 of you get sick than if thousands of persons get sick. So it's very important that persons, even if you're making a product on your own, you ensure that you do your necessary quality checks. You ensure that that product is standardized to ensure quality parameters are met, as well as consistency. Your customers will demand consistency.
Right.
This month and next month is something else. It can't give me nice silky hair in November, and then I come back January for a new batch, my hair trashy. You have to have that consistency in your product. So that's something else that we offer. We also offer analytical testing. Remember, I mentioned those quality parameters to be assessed. We offer analytical testing through our analytical services department, who can and will evaluate your products to ensure that it's meeting the required standards. Our labs are ISO 9001 certified and 17025 accredited. So that speaks to the standards of the services that we offer. So we offer cheap service, but a high quality service. So that's important to note.
All right. That's great. You know what I mean? It's nice to see that you have all this under one roof, and it's fantastic. Let me just pull up right here just a second to again welcome everybody who's tuning in. We're here talking with Dr. Charah Watson, Acting Executive Director of the Scientific Research Council, which, like I said before, is one of the best tools that any entrepreneur or person interested in expanding their business portfolio could ever have in Jamaica. They have the ability to help you create a product or just take a product from idea to finished product, and you can so that you can really move into the entrepreneurship game and become a much more full-fledged business operator. You know what I mean? And if you have any questions about the process in which they can help you to do that, this is the time. Dr. Watson is right here. This is why we have this program. We want you to ask her all kind of questions. Anything you want to know, if you have an idea that you've been toying with in the back of your mind for the longest while, we know the drill, you know. Someone want to have some talent, so you can make cake, you can make pudding, you can make juice, you can make roots, you can make whatever. But you never, I always in the back of your mind, you always think, some probably could have sold this if I really try. But you never actually take the time to figure out how to do it and learn how to do it, so you can actually make a product that you can manufacture and sell to people and actually start this entrepreneurship thing seriously. Well, this is the opportunity for you to get the how-to guide, how to do it. Like I said, Dr. Watson is right here. Don't miss this opportunity. Ask her questions. If you know somebody, a relative, a friend, somebody who wants something or who has an idea that you always say, boy, no, say, Auntie Pauline could have made some, I feel like she could have actually gone with something if she actually figured out how to do it. Call in Auntie Pauline, or just take some notes so you can find out how to do it. All right, now is the time. All right, now, Dr. Watson, persons might be of the idea that maybe it's only like agricultural things that you do, maybe like things based on fruits or natural things. I'm wondering if you guys have the capacity to deal in products or sort of products that have more like a chemical base, for example, like gels or, chemicals, things like that. Do you have the capacity to help persons create those kind of products as well?
Yes, we definitely do. So while majority of our clients that reach out to us is interested in food type products and food development, we also have a pilot plant. So some of your manufacturing, you can actually do it here too, So we hold your hand to develop it. We also hold your hand to produce it and help you to get into respective markets. But apart from the food products, we also do personal care product development. And a lot of persons have benefited from our training in personal care product development. So we not only will train you how to do it, we will or formulate it for you, but we'll teach you how to do it for yourselves. So we do bar soap making workshop, we do lotion and body cream workshops, and we do shampoo and body washes workshop. And we're looking to expand that portfolio to include other more topical or new products that persons have been requesting. So you're looking at your body scrubs, your lip scrubs, your face creams, and various other products that persons have been asking for. So yes, so one of the focus though that many persons have is how can they utilize our natural resources? Right. So most of these products tend to have a natural input, some extract or something coming from a plant. But in terms of looking at your cosmetic or personal care formulations, we have full expertise and capabilities to develop and guide you in the development of your product ideas. Another concern that persons have, or a specific concern that some clients would have or persons have expressed that really make them a little bit more resistant, is they sometimes are misinformed about the ownership of their formulations when SRC develop these products for them. Let it be known that once you engage the SRC and you come to the SRC and say you want a product to be developed, that product that is developed is yours and yours only. We never have shared that specific formulation with anyone else. However, if you come to us and say you want a face cream, it does not stop Miss Carmen, Auntie Becky, Mr. Joe to come and say they want a face cream too. You use the face cream that you saw that you used somewhere. You went to some exotic place and you got a nice face cream and you just love it and you want to recreate it for yourself. You come to the SRC and say you want us to formulate it. It doesn't mean that 10 other persons haven't had that same experience with the same product and come to us and say they want us to formulate something like it. But even in that case, you still end up with 10 different formulations because you will have your interpretation of what you would want to create based on that prototype you presented to us. And so will the 10 other persons, because each of us have different experiences and each of us will be putting different thought into what they want to be created. So even if all 10 of you come and say you want mango jam, I'm sure the mango jam will be very different for all 10 persons. So just to put that out there, that once we develop a product that was commissioned by a client, that formulation resides with the client and that is yours and no one else will get it.
All right, fantastic. Let me just take some time to show some of the persons online. Claudia Wood, who said blessings to you, Claudia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Marsha Hall saying good afternoon to you too, Marsha Hall. Appreciate you tuning in. Alfred Buckner, who's saying poor people don't have email or Gmail. Well, Alfred, that's why they can, if they want, they can call them. Dr. Watson, can you just run through the phone numbers for the SRC for persons who might not have those access to the digital tools, like, you know, your phone, like your internet and WhatsApp and all these various things? Let's just share those quickly. We're going to do that a little more in the comments, but let's just share those quickly.
Our telephone number is 927-177-124.
All right. So, Alfred, hopefully, if there's somebody you know, or maybe yourself, you want to get in touch with the SRC, you can always give them a shout at the number Dr. Watson just listed, which is 927-177-124, and you can get the ball rolling with some product that you've created. I'm sure you're interested. I'm sure you have something in the back of your mind that you want to create. And now is the time. Now is the place. You know what I mean? Let's get it done. Ikamia Badru saying blessed greetings, appreciate that. He says, I have a product that's doing very good. I need to be tested and you want some help. You're in the right place, Ikamia. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your username well. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Like Dr. Watson just said, link up the SRC. They can go through all of that process for you. They can help you to test it, standardize it so you can create the same formulation each and every single time so you can start selling it to your customers and be guaranteed of giving them a consistently good product. All right.
that would be required for your product would be dependent on what the product is and what the requirements are. Different products have different requirements in terms of the quality parameters that need to be assessed. But typically, though, for a food-based product, the testing that is required on average will cost you roughly 9,000 plus GCT, thereabout, and similar for cosmetic products as well. So I know that the cost is an important factor to your reviewers. I just wanted to share that. So you can engage us, you can email, and as someone has expressed, you can also call us, and we'll talk with you, find out exactly what the product is, and guide you in terms of what the assessment that you will need to have done, and of course indicate what the likely costs will be.
All right. And Bevelyn McKenzie was asking, is it just food that they deal with? And we answered that before, but it's always good to say it again. No, it isn't food alone that the SRC deals with. As Dr. Watson just outlined, there's a range of products that they help persons to create and formulate, and particularly personal care and hygiene products that she was just talking about. Your face scrubs, your body washes, your soaps, your lotions, etc., etc., etc. You know, different things, but I'm sure there's other capacity to do so many other things. But enough from me. Let Dr. Watson tell you what all the different, she was explaining. So I'll just go recap again, Dr. Watson, the different types of products that you can help persons to create and formulate, manufacture, etc.
So really, our capacity is very extensive. Because as our name suggests, we're research, our focus is really on research. So even if it's not something that we typically do or regularly do, we have the capabilities to research and develop. We have the product research and development division, which focuses specifically on designing and developing products. So even if it's not something that we typically have done, we can most likely still assist you. So there is no limit. We do have limitations. There are some limitations, but there is no limit on the ideas of what we could explore with you. What the limitations really would be is how quickly we'd be able to do it. Because if it's something that is absolutely new to our team, it would take more time to do the research and development activities. Versus if it's something that for a typical products like a cream, the turnaround time for that would be much less than, let's say, we're doing something else that we haven't done before. So that is the main limitation. And if you're in business, most times when you have an idea, you just want to run with it. So time is always a factor for
right. Time is money.
No.
All right. So let me ask you though, in terms of mass producing an item. So let's say we get through the process for argument's sake, some kind of drink or some kind of cream, something like that. Mass producing it so that you can roll it out, and get it distributed to the different supermarkets, wholesales, whatever your distribution outlets are. What's your capacity to help persons with that?
All right. So we do have a pilot plant facility specific for food-based items. We are working on building out our pilot facility for cosmetics or personal care products. So for food-based items, we can do sauces, we can do preserves, we do meat processing. SRC produces the best smoked meats. We actually do most of the training for a lot of the smokehouses across the island. We do beverages and we do canning. We're able to do your can ackee, your can color, anything you want to put in a can. We do drying and milling. So if you want to transform, say, your sweet potato into sweet potato flour to put into a cake mix or sweet potato pudding mix, we're able to do that processing for you. We do minimal processing. For example, when I say minimal processing, have you seen yams and peeled green bananas in supermarkets, which still have the nice pretty color like it just peeled? So the minimal process is something that we do to reduce the oxidation that happen or the discoloration that happen when you peel these starchy foods, and vacuum seal it so that you can put it on the shelves and it's ready to use and convenient. So we're able to do that. Our capacity ranges depending on the particular product. So for example, your beverages or your sauces, we can produce up to 3 batches of 150 gallons per day. So what I want our viewers to remember, it's a pilot facility. So we're not a full-blown manufacturing facility, meaning there would be capacity limitation in how big our batch sizes will be. We're there to get you to start out, to get it to a point where you can grow your business, grow your demand, and move on to a bigger facility outside of the SRC. So it's a pilot facility, meaning we're that intermediate from your development to your initial market engagement to when you want to go into full-blown production.
Right. So you're just there to hold their hand to get them up to that level where you say, all right, you've graduated from kindergarten, now you can go and be a full-fledged grown-up now, run your own business, and up you understand all the elements and the different processes involved in the process, and now you can go ahead and start and run your own business, which is fantastic. Because I mean, too often in the past, many persons would have fumbled and buck shuffled through the process and a whole heap of pitfalls and so on that you really could have avoided had you had some person who is familiar with the process to just help guide you and say, all right, no, maybe you're not ready for big factory yet. You can go and stay as for a little while longer, or you might need to acquire this piece of machinery, that piece of machinery, something like that, so you can create a facility that will help you to best succeed. All right.
And that gives you the opportunity to also test your market. Because, you know, when you're typically designing and developing a product, you're thinking about what you like or what your close circle likes. But sometimes you go to the wider market, it's not accepted. There needs to be changes.
Right.
So you save a lot of time, you save a lot of money than taking on that huge risk, and it gives you the ability to adapt to what your market really wants. So pilot space is a sweet space for persons starting out in business to really manage their expense while getting key feedback from the intended market. So it's absolutely important that person consider utilizing that facility when they're thinking about expanding or going into a business.
No, I get to understand that the SRC, in addition to helping persons, bring their own products to life, I understand that you also do your own research and so on. You have your different formulations, or you might create a formulation of a product or something that if an interested business person wants, they can come and maybe purchase from you and then use that to roll out and start their own, as their own foray into processing and so on. So is this so it go, or am I just hearing things?
You do a lot of homework. I like it. You're well informed.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So
around here.
Remember, one of the mission of the SRC is to transform or translate Jamaica resources for economic development. So outside of persons coming into us with their ideas, we have a responsibility to also continually assess what is happening in the landscape, look where opportunities are, and create solutions to problems. And if, for example, if you recall when you and I was growing up, we only had sorry like Christmas between November and February. Now you get people all year round. And remember, fever grass was just in some backyard.
Exactly.
And have it for only tea. We didn't have perfume, body spray, flavored water, a whole range of different products geared around fever grass. Those were specific initiatives that the SRC had to look at creating value or adding value to existing materials that led to economic activities. So we do this all the time, continually looking in the landscape, seeing what is there, seeing what materials are there, and looking how we can add value. And when we do this, we create SRC-led innovations or intellectual properties or formulations that persons can utilize. You can get them under different arrangements, whether it be a free sale, meaning anyone can come in and buy this formulation and we can sell it 1,000,001 times. Or you can want it under exclusive terms, meaning we develop the formulation for argument's sake, a quiche, and you are interested in it and you don't want anyone else to have that formulation, that would be an exclusive arrangement. But of course, as you can appreciate, the formulation that you sell 1,000,000 times would be, the cost for that would be very different than the formulation that only you would have. So we do those innovative process, product development. So we have formulations that are already ready, and waiting for you to come in and take up. So if you have excess funds laying around and you want to on the challenge of, going into business, because it's very exciting, business work is extremely exciting, trust me. And you just want to try it out, you can come into us, see what we have on our books, and see if we have anything that suits your style and personality that you want to take on to the next stage. And this is really an important call. We really want persons to come in and partner with us, see how they can translate the innovative ideas that we have developed, because we are not able to work in both spaces. Our main focus is being an innovative hub, coming up with solutions that someone else will take on the baton and take it to the next stage, so that we can really achieve the impact that we want, which is, of course, developing our country. And we can only do that through economic prosperity and economic activities.
All right, gent people, once again, we're here talking with Dr. Charah Watson. She's the acting executive director of the Scientific Research Council, and she's here detailing all the ways in which the SRC can help you to take your product or go from idea, concept to finished product. And like I said, this is a great opportunity for you if you're interested in that kind of thing. If you're an entrepreneur, you have ideas and you want to enter into that world of processing and manufacturing and so on, now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to ask her any kind of questions that you want. Please feel free to just drop a comment, drop any kind of question, anything that you have, anything you want to just verify, check out, just get some more information, and just drop it in the comments and we'll ask her and she will answer you. That's why we have her here. Take advantage of the opportunity. All right. Now, Dr. Watson, I also understand that in these times of COVID, the SRC was very responsive in helping to create a hand sanitizer formulation that persons are able to utilize, create their own, add their own labels to create their own product, so to speak, and then start marketing. Talk to me about that and that process and how that has been going.
So when COVID came last March, like most persons, we too were concerned, and the mass fear and not having a clear understanding of what was happening. And we saw how that was affecting our staff. I mean, we were being encouraged to get our hand sanitizers. And of course, there was a rush on it. So a lot of persons were not able to access. So we decided, you know what? Let's see what we can do to assist our team. So we formulated 2 sanitizers. One that is a gel. I have my bottle right here. See, the label still up there. One that is a gel and one that is a spray. So the gel format is the one that we give you for personal use, that you'll have in your bottle, that you'll have in your little bag or in your pockets, that you can just put on whenever you need. And then the spray version is for high contact surfaces, so like your countertops, your door handles, etc. So we did that for our team members, and shortly after, our team members, of course, they're part of the general population and they interact with persons too. So other persons were seeing them utilizing their SRC sanitizers. They're like, I never know SRC, the sanitizers. We're like, actually we don't, but we did this for our team. And persons started asking. Our ministry, that is the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, also had a need, and we started making for them and supplying them with hand sanitizers for their workforce as well. And it really just blossomed out of that. We standardized the formulation, we did our shelf life studies, and we documented the formulation and have it in a format that can be translated or transferred to any individual who want to know go into production. So it was really looking to see how we can assist our staff and get them through what was a difficult time and helping to alleviate the fears and stresses. And that grew into something else. And a lot of us end up in businesses just like that. Oh, yeah. We had intention, but circumstances happen, and we saw a situation that we could capitalize on. We started getting a whole lot of calls for persons wanting us to develop sanitizers on their behalf. But we decided to go the route of developing the SRC-based formulation, because truth be told, we already had developed the formulation when the COVID-19 just came in March. When by April, June, when persons started calling us wanting to have their formulations and wanting to engage us on a one-on-one basis, because sanitizers are generally basic formulations, there are little deviations in it. We didn't think that would have been the best approach to have, say, 100 persons and we're doing 100 contracts. Instead, it will be much quicker, less costly, if we transferred the main formulation that SRC developed. So that is the route we chose to go, because there will be very little deviation in your hand sanitizers. So we didn't feel that it was, it was necessarily the correct way to do many different formulations. Instead of being a base formulation that you could do little tweaks to, like your fragrance, you can adjust which fragrance you want to put in there. Some persons might want to increase the amount of aloe vera gel in there. Some persons might want to reduce the amount of thickener in there to make your product more runny or more thick. So those kind of little deviations can happen. And so therefore, at the end of the day, you still end up having a product that feels unique without the cost or the time to develop one independently for yourself.
All right. Sounds like it's been working out pretty well for you guys. It seems like there's been a lot of take up, which seems, sensible considering the times that we're living in. So sounds like a great decision on your part. So I hope it continues and more persons use this as an opportunity to blossom into other products, other home health and cleaning related products, because it seemed like the perfect segue, or the perfect entry point, if you will. All right, Doctor, a question here online from Samantha Edwards. Thank you for your question. I appreciate that. She says, if any, what work has the SRC done with Jamaican castor oil?
Oh, castor oil, we did a whole lot of work way back in the day when the industry was very young. So the processing techniques that are used, so you have different processing techniques. You have the artisan version, and each person that produces, they have different deviation. But that process was the development of that process. SRC played a major role in there. So currently, what we do for castor oil, so we were very active in development of processing of the castor beans to extract the oil. We worked very closely with Jampro, as well as the Jamaica castor oil industry. And I think there is also the Jamaica Baptist Group, who is another major player in the castor oil industry. And with individual producers, we do what you call your certificate of analysis, where we analyze your castor oil to confirm the quality and the consistency of it and the components that are in there, to certify that it is unadulterated castor oil. And if you're exporting, that certificate of analysis is critical. It's a critical documentation that you will need to export that product. So that's the things that we do. Of course, castor oil is one of the major ingredients in cosmetic products outside. So we also do formulations where castor oil might be an ingredient in the cosmetic product that we're formulating.
All right, sounds fantastic. So there's lots of work going on there for persons who are interested. So the SRC is already a ways down the road in terms of the uses and the different ways in which you can use castor oil as products and so on. So if you're interested in castor oil, hey, hit them up. They might have some useful insight that you can benefit from. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can run in and they can help you to create a new product. All right. Take advantage of the expertise that already exists right here, right in Jamaica, so that you can, get your foot in the entrepreneurship pool. That's why I'm pushing. If you heard, don't be so, don't be too surprised if you hear me keep talking about entrepreneurship, because this is the time. This is what one of the lessons that I believe the COVID pandemic has taught us is that, hey, sometimes you have to have a backup plan. You have to have, something to channel your energies into if, for example, your main source of income dries up, as many persons would have lost their jobs or been put in a position where they have to work reduced hours, that kind of thing. And as them said, necessity is the mother of invention. So you never know that listening to Dr. Watson today might just be the kick you need to go and manufacture that product you've had in the back of your mind for the longest while. Another question coming in here, Dr. Watson. Evian Tilmoth Johnson is asking, can you help with packaging and shipping live plants?
To some extent, yes. We do have a biotechnology department that does tissueculture planting material. Tissueculture planting materials are, we produce the product, the plant, in a miniature version of a plant in a soilless system, so they can be shipped in jars. So we do that. I'm not certain if that's the area that the viewer had a question in, but we do, but in very specific area, from tissueculture products that we actually produce here.
No, interesting thing that that question kind of begs the question. What about the subject of maybe labeling? Do you guys provide assistance with persons who might need help, to label their product properly so that, because that's one of the barriers that many distributors would have. You want the thing to be properly labeled so you can adequately represent what's in the product and reflect what's going on with it, that kind of thing.
So for labeling, we would refer you to the Bureau of Standards, who has responsibility for label and label regulations around products, as well as the Ministry of Health. If it's a product that is making a claim, whether it's something that you ingest or put on your body topical, once it's making any kind of claim or therapeutic purpose, saying it's serving a kind of therapeutic value, Ministry of Health has responsibility for regulating and reviewing and approving the labels. If it's a food product, the responsibility then shifts to Bureau of Standard. There is a label guideline that is, you can find it online, or for those who don't have internet access, the Bureau of Standard, which is just on Westchester, I believe, close to Half-a-Tree area, they do have a library, so you can go to their library and view their label standard.
All right, fantastic. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, just to recap what we're doing today, we're talking about all the different support services that the Scientific Research Council provides to members of the public, interested persons who want to take a product from idea to finished product. I know I'm probably just narrowing the full spectrum of all the work that the SRC does for the purposes of this program. I'm sure there's a whole lot more, but that's why we have other programs. You can bring Dr. Watson back to talk about all the other different things that they do. But today we're just focusing on the different ways in which the SRC can help you. Yes, you there looking at your phone right now. You with an idea for a product that you've had for like years now, things that you've thought you could have made, different products, bath wash, soap, lotion, cream, scrub, you name it, juice, cake, biscuit, whatever you want. I mean, you've had an idea for the longest while. You can't tell me that you've never had an idea. Someone could have made that. Someone could have made this commercially. And the SRC is able to help you take that product from idea to finished product in your mind. You know what I mean? You can actually start using it to build some kind of business company, you name it. The sky is really the limit. So it's really up to you, right? And Dr. Watson mentioned that they have product formulation, so they can help you find all the different ingredients and things so you can put the product together, right? Standardization, so you can make it consistent. So the same way it tastes or it feel or, it was used last week, same way it going to taste, feel, and use this week. Analytical testing, maybe you already have a product and you need to break it down and understand what's, so that you can label it properly. They can help you analyze it, find out all the different ingredients, all the chemical additions, that kind of thing, so that you can label it properly. There's also a training program so that it can help you to create your own product or just work through your process in a much more efficient and much more, calculated manner so that you can do things most effectively, right? And not to mention, they can help you to mass produce, package different ways in which you can present your product. So there's a whole heap of things that you can benefit from. And don't let me forget the market testing and research, right, Dr. Watson, so that persons can know whether or not this product that you think will mash up the whole entire universe. Maybe just your grandmother alone might buy one because she's sorry for you. You know what I'm saying? So them can help you work out all of that and get through all the processes so that you can actually have a successful start to the product that you want. All right. The ball is really in your court. Dr. Watson is here. Ask our questions, although we're kind of moving to wrap. But if you want to call the SRC and get more information, you can call 927-1771. Or you can also visit, I believe it's src.gov. Am I right or am I way off base with that one?
Correct. That is correct.
So src.gov.jm. You can get them, visit the website, very informative. You can go through all the different things that they, all the different information about the different products and services that they provide and how they can help you to realize your dream. All right. I come here.
And even for existing manufacturers, especially for those who are doing foods, if you recall, the Ministry of Health recently changed the guidelines for the allowed quantity of sugar in beverages. Soon, that guideline will be expanded to include sugar, to include salts and fat. So the Ministry of Health and Wellness is really looking at a comprehensive program to address the issue of obesity within the country, as well as other lifestyle diseases such as diabetes and hypertension. So the SRC recently, in partnership with the Ministry of Health, hosted a reformulation workshop where existing manufacturers of, say, bag juice, box juice, and different juices, we exposed them to skills and tools that they would need to reformulate the products in order to ensure that it meet the required standards, especially if they're intended to enter the school market. But outside of that as well, and you mentioned it, and I wanted to just pick up back on it as well, is we do nutritional fat panel. So we do that. We're the only one in the island that is able to do it via database, which is a quarter of the cost that you pay if it has to be done by analysis. Both methods are acceptable. The database method, you would bring your product to us, indicate the serving size, the ingredient listing, and what you do, you plug that information into a program, and it generates a nutritional fat panel for you to say how much proteins, how much salt, how much sugar, all those other nutritional data would be generated. If it's a product and the ingredients in there, there's no information in the database on that ingredient, then you might have to do it via analysis to, again, give you information on what's in the product. And it's very important for food manufacturers to start getting to the habit of putting on nutritional fat panel on their labels, because while Jamaica currently does not stipulate that there must be a nutritional fat panel, for the export markets that persons are trying to enter, it is stipulated that you must have a nutritional fat panel, as well as Jamaica is moving as well to a similar type of regulation that nutritional fat panel must be introduced. So be ahead of the game, be competitive, because if your clients want to know what they might eat anyways.
Exactly.
So have the information, design your labels with the fat panel in there, and engage the SRC and let us help you to get it done.
All right, there you have it, people. The SRC is one of your best friends. Link them up now. Link them up today. They can help you turn that product, turn that idea into a finished product, right? So it's really in your best interest. Come on, all right. But last words as we kind of wrap things up. I'm just gonna throw it to you one last time, Dr. Watson, to just give a plug. Let persons know what the SRC is about. Represent for your agency. Let them know what the SRC is about and what kind of service, what kind of standards, what kind of, what kind of experience you will provide them when them link you up and decide them want to build the next product that going to take over the whole of Jamaica.
Just simply put, SRC is your best resource to realizing your potential of engaging in cost-effective, impactful economic activity. So engage us, call us, email us, come into us. We will do all the hand-holding and guide you through ensuring that your project is viable, feasible, and successful. So come into the SRC. We're here to serve you.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I think it's time for us to wrap. Thank you to everyone who tuned into our discussion, especially those of you who sent in your questions and your comments. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And if you have a question and we didn't get to answer it in our discussion, not to worry. You can leave it in the comments. We can go through afterwards and drop Dr. Watson a line so she can give you the right information, or somebody else on our staff or our team can provide you with the right guidance. All right. Don't forget to link. If you really want to get in touch with them today, you can let them up at 927-1771 or visit their website at src.gov.jm. You can also check them out on their social media pages as well to keep up with them and see what they're doing, all the different initiatives and so on that they have rolling out in the future and so on. Remember now, our audience plays a major part in our show. So if there's anyone in particular you'd like us to have in studio, let us know. We'll try to have that person in studio as soon as possible. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Jamaica Information Service to see who will be in studio next. We do this every week live on Facebook. I've been your host, Vaughn Davis, and this has been Studio 58A Live. Thank you again for joining us, and please have a wonderful day. You take care now.